Well, hello and welcome to this video where we are going to do some work in the data that we have before we actually use SPSS. So first we start with Excel, and this is the file where you have the data that came from the survey. So it's exactly the original data. And we need to do a few things. We need to clean some things. We need to change how we code things, and that's what we are going to do. I think maybe this will be the longest video of all of them, of all of the lab. But I will start and I go step by step. You can pause, you can check, you can go back, and you can do everything to make it work. So first, I will go to the first question, that is where we gain consent. So if we click in data and then we click filter, yeah, that helps a lot because we can click here in the small arrow and we can see that everyone said agree. And that is because I think if someone say I do not agree, it won't be recorded. I think that's how I set the survey. So everyone really said agree. So I think we can really just remove everything from here. So select the whole column and remove that column because we don't really need it. We are not going to use that. Everyone say yes, that's good. In the next one, we ask the gender of the person, and we had different options. We had prefer not to say and others, but people only answer with female and male. So what we are going to do in here is we need to convert the text into numbers because SPSS need numbers. SPSS cannot use words. So what we are going to do is select the answers. So from this row number 2 all the way down, and then go to home and go to find and select replace, and then find what, go and write female, so find female and replace with 1. What is 1 and what is 2 is really not, sorry, what is 1 and 1 and what is 0, because we are going to use a dummy variable here, so 1 and zeros, 1 for female and 0 for male, or everything else, like prefer not to say. I think I will also code it as 0. Other, I will also code it as 0. It's important that you do that if in your sample you have more than that. I think for gender, it's safe to code 1 for female and 0 for everything else. Like, or you could do the other way, like 1 is male, 0 is everything else. I think it's not worth doing more than that. And also, you cannot really do 1, 2, and 3 and 4, like 2 is other, 3 is prefer not to say, because SPSS uses numbers. So if you give 2 to prefer not to say, SPSS will think that 2 is better than 1 or it's higher than 1, and it's not true because our variable, this gender variable, is just a categorical variable. So it only means that 1 is female, 0 is something that is not female. And after we have made the change, we need to write GEN, the code for gender. Again, you can do, for this lab, follow my coding, but when you do your own survey, you can use your own codes. It's okay. The next one is age. So maybe let's change right away the name. I will change the name of the question to age, just like this. And here we don't really have to make any change. Maybe we can just check the age of the respondents, like everyone is something 19, 21, maximum 34. And also, we don't have anything weird. We don't have like 34.5 or 34 years old. We only have numbers. That's great. That's what we need for SPSS. We don't really need to make any changes. And why it works like this, why is it so nice? It's because when I set some filters in the survey, I said that if it was not an integer number, it will be removed. It won't be accepted. So that's why we have very good input. The next question is, when did you start your current or last studied program? So to do that, we need to do something because the number is very high to 2023, 2022. The number is too high. What we can do is let's open a new column and let's call this new column year, like YEA, year. And what we will do is we want to know how much time this person has been studying or how much time it passed since the person started the last program this person studied. So what we will do is to subtract from 2026, I think, 2026 minus this number, and then just copy for everything. We do it like this because look, one person who started his or her studies in 2025 has only 1 year studying, so that's why it's here 1. And someone who started in 2020, it's already 6 years in studying. So we are going to do it like that. Then the next thing, this is very important. Do not forget, I mean, like we did the subtraction and then we copy paste all the way down. Select everything, copy, and then go to paste as values. Why? Because we will remove the previous column. And if you don't do that, when you remove it, you will get an error. So before you remove the column, do this copy and paste as values. So then you don't get the error. Then the next question is if they study at Jönköping. So maybe I can rename this as uni for university. And we need to do again, select all the text, go to find and select, and we will need to do find yes and replace with 1. We're going to domify again this. And the same for the other thing, but it will be not replaced by 0. No replaced by 0. Good. The next is level of studies. I will rename it as LAB. And we are going to see here that we have PhD, bachelor, master, all of these things. I think there is only one who is studying a PhD. Everyone else is doing master or bachelor. So what we are going to do is to go select everything again, all the text, and select the text and go to find and select. And what we are going to do is we are going to label master as 1, bachelor as 0, but also PhD as 0. Something happened there, no? Or is correct? Bachelor 0? I think it's correct. PhD 0. But that's fine. So now we have zeros and ones. And why did I give 0 to PhD? It's because it's only one person doing PhD. So instead of labeling 1, 2, or 3 like as a ranking or something like that, maybe it's better just to have master or not master. So anyone else who's not doing a master, bachelor, or PhD is 0. It is just because it's only one PhD. It's not that representative. Something we could do is just remove that one, the PhD. It's also possible to remove like a layout, but I mean, it's fine if we do it like this. If we will have more PhDs, it will be better to have levels like 1 bachelor, 2 master, 3 PhD, or we could have domified the variables. Like we should have created 2 new variables, one for master is 1 and everything else is 0, and maybe another one for PhD. One is PhD and everything else is 0, and we will have 2 columns. But for now, do it like this. Master is 1, bachelor and PhD is 0 when you do the search and replace. The next question is if you are born in Sweden, so I will call it as SWE. Select everything, go to find and select. Yes will be 1. Replace all. And no will be 0. Like this. And I think we are done with the control variables, which are somehow the most difficult ones to code, I think. And I usually like to divide my data set in different colors. So I will give a similar color, like maybe orange, to the control variables, just because I like to visually see it. Then we are going to move to our actual variables, and we start with our dependent variable, AI usage. And as you can see here on top, we have the whole question. I think it's too much text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename it AI1. And we don't really have to make any changes. We have the number, so it's a scale. We don't really have to do anything in here. AI1, AI2, AI3, AI4, AI5, no problem. The next one is the sustainability awareness, and I think it's the same. We don't need to make any changes. environmental sustainability awareness, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we have technology literacy, and we also don't need to make any changes. It can be TL1, TL2, TL3, TL4, TL5. I don't think we need to make any changes. But now, in locus of control, things become a little bit more complex. Because if you check our questions, we have the inverse question in here. Do you remember? This question is the other way around. Like if you answer high, it means that you have less locus of control. We do this because it's nice to confuse the person responding. So it's not always the same meaning. Like high is more locus of control. It's also nice to have a switch. So that's why we did it like that. But because we have it inverse, we need to do something before we actually copy paste our data in SPSS. So open a new column next to log1. Open it. I will call it log1. Just like this. But what you need to do is you need to do 10 minus whatever is in here. This is because you need to switch it around. This locus 1 is the inverse question. So you want to do this operation, 10 minus that number, to show the real value of locus of control. So you do 10 minus that and you get 8. So, sorry, I think it's not 10. It should be 11. 11 minus that number, you get that, okay? It is always the maximum number plus 1. Look, if you get 1, 1, when you do the inverse, you get 10. So it's 11 minus that number, always the number that you have plus 1. And then do the same thing you did before, copy everything and paste as value here, paste as value, and then remove the previous column. And then you have it here, the correct number, not the inverse one, we have the correct one. In the next question, we don't have to make any changes because we don't have the inverse, it's the normal one, so log2. The same for log3, but in log4, we also have inverse. So we have to open, it will be log4, we give the name 11 minus this number, and then you copy paste everywhere this, then you remove the sorry, before you yeah, now I can remove because I copy pasted log4. Log5, we have the same issue, it's also inversed, so we need to do the operation. Let me open a new column, log5, I do 11 minus this, and then I copy paste, no, sorry, I copy for everything, and then I copy paste as value, and then I remove, and that's it. In skepticism, we also have the same for skepticism 1. So I will open a new variable, skepticism 1, and I will do the same, 11 minus this, and then I copy paste for everything, copy and paste as values, and then I can remove the previous. Skepticism 2 doesn't need that. It's in the right scale. Skepticism 3 is the same. And then I realized I made a mistake and nobody, neither you or I realized about this mistake. Is because in the survey, I only included 4 questions for skepticism. I don't know why. We have skepticism 1, skepticism 2, skepticism 3, but we don't have skepticism 4. We only have 5. So it's not the end of the world. We are going to use only 4 items, but just update your LAB1 because in LAB1 for skepticism groups, you had 5 items. We actually didn't use the 4th one because of my mistake. So remove skepticism 4. It's nothing wrong. And we are going to rename this one skepticism 5. It's fine. We don't have to make any changes. And professional aspirations, we don't need to make any changes. Pro 2, Pro 3, Pro 4, and Pro 5. There is nothing that we need to switch. And now the last thing to do is just to give a different color. So maybe um, for the dependent variable AI, I will give green. And then for the independent variables, I'm going to give pink, just like that. No? So it looks like this. So that's it. That's now we coded, we transform text into numbers, we switch the inverse coded everything. So now we should look like this. We are done with Excel. In the next video, what I'm going to do is how to move from Excel to SPSS, and then we will start doing statistics. So that's it for the first video.